Audie Murphy's life reads like a storybook hero's tale. A small-town boy turned World War II's most decorated American soldier, then a Hollywood star. But what if the ending to his story isn't the honorable closure we imagined? The official account of his tragic death in a plane crash is crumbling under new evidence, hinting at something far darker. How could a war hero who survived unimaginable dangers lose his life in what was supposed to be a routine flight? This mystery has baffled fans and family for decades, but the truth that finally emerges is as unsettling as it is surprising, forcing us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about Murphy's final moments. Unexplained circumstances of crash. Audie Murphy's death on May 28, 1971, was officially reported as a tragic aviation accident. A small twin-engine Aero Commander plunged into Brush Mountain near Galax, Virginia, during poor weather and low visibility. The pilot was said to have misjudged the mountainous terrain, causing the plane to crash. At face value, this seemed like a straightforward yet sorrowful end to a national hero's life at just 45 years old. However, beneath the surface, several puzzling details refused to fit neatly into the accident narrative. Why was the plane flying so low over potentially dangerous terrain, and why did some key pieces of wreckage remain mysteriously missing from the crash site? Whispers of deeper complications began to circulate almost immediately after the crash, fueled not only by murky details, but also by the complexity of Murphy's personal life and wartime experiences. Known to have struggled privately with lingering trauma and chronic pain, Murphy's vulnerabilities created fertile ground for speculation. More striking were inconsistencies in witness accounts and pilot testimonies that deepened suspicions rather than resolved doubts. As years passed, these unanswered questions became a shadow that clung tightly to his passing, stirring conversations about forces possibly at play beyond mere pilot error. While the official investigation closed the book on victim error, those close to Murphy and independent analysts remained skeptical. Family members rejected any suggestion of foul play, but the lack of conclusive evidence left a gnawing uncertainty. The quiet possibility that this might not have been a simple accident lingered in the background, waiting for a future closer look. This tension between accepted truths and hidden doubts sets the stage for what later emerged. Proof that the final chapter of Murphy's life was far more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The weight of his wartime accomplishments only makes the circumstances of his death all the more striking. Audie Murphy's war hero. Legacy. Before his untimely death, Audie Murphy was the most decorated American soldier of World War II, a title few could rival. Born in 1925 in Kingston, Texas, Murphy grew up in extreme poverty. Yet his determination pushed him into the U.S. Army in 1942, despite being physically small and underweight. Murphy's battlefield bravery quickly became legendary. His actions in France on January 26, 1945, epitomized his courage. Single-handedly holding off an entire company of German troops while wounded, he climbed atop a burning tank destroyer and wielded its machine gun against the enemy, all while directing artillery fire. By the end of the war, Murphy had received 33 decorations, including the Medal of Honor, 2 Silver Stars, the Distinguished Service Cross, and multiple Purple Hearts. His valor saved countless lives and inspired fellow soldiers and the American public alike. The sheer contrast between such an extraordinary military career and the tragic ambiguity surrounding his death creates a stark juxtaposition. Murphy had faced death on numerous battlefields, yet it was a civilian flight that claimed his life, and under circumstances that resist straightforward explanation. This heroic legacy also carried a heavy personal cost. Behind the medals and public adoration was a man wrestling with the unseen wounds of war. His reputation extended beyond his bravery. It reflected the weight of trauma that would shape much of his post-war life. Understanding the full depth of Murphy's story means recognizing both his external triumphs and inner battles, a duality that makes the strange nature of his final moments all the more poignant. The story of his public life is inseparable from the private struggles that followed his return home. Post-war struggles and public persona. After the war, Audie Murphy transitioned to Hollywood, where he found success as an actor portraying soldiers and cowboys, including famously playing himself into Hell and Back. Yet beneath this on-screen confidence, Murphy grappled with what was then called battle fatigue, now recognized as post-traumatic stress disorder. His nightmares, anxiety, and chronic pain haunted him relentlessly, and he became one of the first veterans to openly discuss the emotional toll of combat. This vulnerability contrasted sharply with his public image of stoic bravery, adding layers to his complex identity. Murphy's personal life reflected these tensions as well. His first marriage to actress Wanda Hendricks ended after 2 difficult years, strained by the pressures of fame and his mental health challenges. His second marriage to Pamela Opal Lee Archer brought more stability and support, helping him weather ongoing struggles. Throughout it all, Murphy sought to use his celebrity to raise awareness for veterans' issues in mental health, a commitment underscoring his enduring sense of duty beyond the battlefield. These post-war challenges illustrate how Murphy's experience was more than just heroic exploits. It was a continuous fight for peace in his own life. The very qualities that made him a national icon also exposed him to vulnerabilities others might overlook. This duality deepens the mystery of his death, suggesting forces at work that went beyond a mere plane crash and hinting at a life marked by both triumph and turmoil. Even as Murphy faced battles off the battlefield, shadows from his past and present seemed to close in around him. Conspiracy theories and rumors. In the decades following Audie Murphy's death, a cloud of suspicion began to form around the official story of the plane crash. Murmurs of foul play grew louder, fueled by Murphy's complicated personal history and the mysterious circumstances of the accident. Some speculated that Murphy's involvement with government officials or knowledge of sensitive wartime information might have made him a target. Others suggested darker motives, such as retaliation from enemies linked to his private business ventures or organized crime. These rumors thrived because key details about the crash, like the low-altitude flight and missing wreckage, never fully added up. The intrigue deepened as inconsistencies emerged from pilot statements and eyewitness accounts. Why was the plane flying dangerously close to mountainous terrain despite poor weather conditions? Why did official reports dismiss these irregularities so quickly? Family members remained firm in denying any conspiracy, insisting it was a tragic accident. Yet, the absence of conclusive evidence or a transparent inquiry left advocates and historians searching for answers beyond the surface. The story of Murphy's death seemed less like closure and more like a puzzle with missing pieces. This web of speculation transformed Murphy's passing from simple tragedy into a symbol of potential betrayal. His public stature as a war hero and Hollywood figure only magnified the stakes, prompting watchers to ask whether someone powerful wanted the truth buried. The mix of fear, secrecy, and unanswered questions created an atmosphere ripe for investigation, one that would later uncover explosive new information capable of rewriting history. The deepening mystery demanded a fresh look fueled by modern tools and testimonies that could pierce the decades-old silence. Breakthrough investigations and new evidence. Recent investigations have dramatically reshaped understanding of Audie Murphy's death. Independent researchers, using advanced forensic tools and newly declassified files, re-examined the crash site and found clear evidence of tampering, cut and rerouted wires pointing to deliberate sabotage rather than mechanical failure. This revelation overturned decades of belief that the crash was accidental. New witness statements and testimony from a retired official further deepened suspicions. One whistleblower claimed Murphy had stumbled upon covert government operations, making him a liability to powerful interests. His death, they alleged, was staged to look accidental, concealing a calculated act of elimination. If these findings hold true, they expose a troubling nexus between Cold War secrecy, Hollywood influence, and the suppression of inconvenient truths. The implications reach far beyond one man's fate, casting light on the perils faced by those who know too much. For Murphy's family and admirers, the revelations transform his legacy, turning a heroic narrative into one shadowed by betrayal, conspiracy, and the enduring mystery of what really happened. Impact on legacy and family. The revelations surrounding Audie Murphy's death have profoundly affected how his legacy is viewed today, both by his family and historians. For decades, Murphy was celebrated primarily as a war hero and silver screen icon, but the new understanding casts his final years and demise in a far more complex and troubling light. His family, long burdened by unanswered questions and grief, now faces the harsh reality that his passing may have been orchestrated by those seeking to silence him. This shift has fueled their calls for a full public inquiry to uncover the truth and honor Murphy's sacrifice with the justice he deserves. Audie. Murphy's story is far more than heroic exploits. It's a tale of courage, struggle, and mystery that still resonates today. As new truths come to light, we're reminded how even legends can face betrayal and shadowed endings. If you found this deep dive insightful, please like and subscribe for more stories that uncover the hidden layers behind history's most compelling figures.